Hello. Thank you for joining me today. If you are listening to this, you are likely standing on a very special threshold, looking back at a life well lived and forward to a new, quieter kind of chapter. This message is for you specifically. It's for those of us who have walked through 5 or 6 decades and are now entering our 60s, or perhaps are already settled in this wonderful, reflective time. You've earned the right to slow down, to notice, and to simply be. And with this slowing comes a remarkable gift, a specific kind of quiet wisdom that only reveals itself now. It's wisdom that doesn't shout. It just settles like dust after a long, busy journey. Let's talk about some of these simple, profound truths you finally earned the right to understand. The first realization that often arrives in your 60s is a profound ease with the beauty of the unfinished. In our younger years, our 30s, our 40s, we were constantly chasing completion. We had to finish the project, perfect the house, complete the training, or nail down the retirement plan. Everything felt urgent. Everything had a deadline, often imposed only by ourselves. But in your 60s, you start to see that life isn't a checklist. It's a landscape. And the landscape is meant to be enjoyed, not perfected. Perhaps you have a stack of books waiting to be read. Perhaps a garden project is still half done. Perhaps there is a closet you keep meaning to organize. The wisdom of this decade tells you, quite gently, that the world will not end if these things remain exactly as they are today. The peace you crave does not come from finishing the list. It comes from accepting the list as it is and then putting it down for a while. This acceptance is not resignation. It is power. It's the power to say, this is good enough. This allows you to redirect your energy from endless doing to simply being present in the moment you have right now. Think of your energy not as an endless resource, but as a fine, precious currency. This leads to the second major wisdom you gain: time as a currency and saying no as a treasure. In decades past, saying no felt like failure, or worse, rudeness. We committed out of obligation, fear of missing out, or the desire to be seen as helpful. We filled our calendars until they were overflowing with other people's needs. But now, your time is finite, and its value is crystal clear. Every commitment takes away from the time you have left to spend purely on your own quiet joy. The wisdom of your 60s is the ability to say no thank you, without apology, without explanation, and without guilt. When you say no to an energy-draining commitment, you are not being selfish. You are being a responsible steward of your peace. You are investing that precious currency, your time, into moments that actually nourish you. That might be an extra hour with a crossword puzzle, a long conversation with a beloved grandchild, or just watching the rain fall. These moments are priceless, and they are worth protecting fiercely. The third, and perhaps most liberating discovery is the irrelevance of other people's narratives. All through our lives, we carry around a heavy burden, the need to manage how others see us. We worry about our reputation, what our old classmates think, or whether our neighbors approve of our decisions. This external pressure can be exhausting. But as you reach this age, a simple, profound truth sinks in. Most people are simply not thinking about you at all. They are busy managing their own narratives and their own burdens. And this realization is profoundly freeing. You are no longer defined by the job you retired from, the mistakes you made decades ago, or the roles you once played. You are free to shed that old coat and simply exist as the person you are right now, in this moment. The need for external validation finally fades away, replaced by a deep, warm acceptance of your own company. You finally get to decide who you are without taking a vote. Finally, there is the quiet wisdom of deep gratitude for the ordinary. When you were younger, happiness was a big event, a wedding, a promotion, a vacation, a major achievement. Now, happiness often resides in the small, dependable rituals, the comfort of a familiar chair, the perfect temperature of your morning tea, the way the light hits the wall at a certain time of day, the quiet reliability of a good night's sleep. These are the moments that truly sustain us. They are not flashy. They do not make headlines. They are the quiet, sturdy framework of a good life. In your 60s, you finally have the time and the perspective to notice them, appreciate them fully, and allow them to fill you with a quiet, profound thankfulness. So, how do we apply this new wisdom? Not with grand gestures, but with small, gentle choices. First, I invite you to adopt the 15-minute rule. Today or tomorrow, find 15 minutes, just a quarter of an hour, to do something purely for pleasure and entirely non-productive. No goals, no cleanup afterwards. It might be listening to one piece of music while sitting completely still. It might be simply watching the clouds move. It might be smelling a flower. It must be something that exists outside the realm of obligation. Protect that time. It is a daily reminder that your worth is not tied to your output. Next, give yourself permission to declutter your future. Look at your plans for the next month. Are there any items on that list, even seemingly small ones, that are there purely because you feel you should do them, not because you want to? If you can gently remove one such obligation, that is a victory. The goal is not an empty schedule, but a schedule filled only with what matters to your peace. And finally, a simple affirmation for your quiet times. When you are feeling a moment of uncertainty or self-doubt, place your hand over your heart and quietly remind yourself, I have made it this far. I am strong. I am wise. I have learned what matters. I am enough, exactly as I am right now. I am finally free to simply be. Say it softly. Feel the truth of it sink in. This stage of life, this decade of your 60s is not a winding down. It is a settling in. It is the time when the roar of the world softens and the beautiful, true voice of your own heart becomes clear. Know that your life, your journey, and your quiet wisdom are valuable beyond measure. You are walking a path that is uniquely yours, and you are not alone on it. Take a deep, gentle breath. Relax your shoulders. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Be gentle with yourself and enjoy the beautiful, simple peace you have worked so hard to find.
If this message brought you a measure of peace or comfort, please consider sharing it with someone else who might need a moment of gentle encouragement today. It would mean a lot to us if you would also quietly click the like button and perhaps subscribe, so we can continue sharing these moments of quiet reflection together. Thank you again for your time and your presence. We appreciate you.